if you hear a dog, or me complaining about a dog, I do apologize in advance.
This has been your public safety health warning.
Thank you.
Take care of your pets.
Oh, I do. He's just very excited.
Yeah, well.
Well, I mean, hey, you know what? That's perfectly within theme for the game that we'll be showcasing for today's look at. So, a long time ago, a dear old daddy decided to make a Kickstarter campaign because he wanted to make his own version of Ghost and Goblin starring his cute little daughter, Madelyn.
Aww.
And then cease and desist.
And we looked at it. It looked really nice.
Oh yeah, we did show off the alpha demo a few years back, and this is more or less the fruits of his results. Second time, rather, because this is the Royal Edition of Battle Princess Madelyn.
That's some pretty good animation there, I'm not going to lie.
Looks really
Yeah, it's
nice,
very
yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So, Battle Princess Madelyn, for those that didn't, watch the initial... Oh, well, that is nice music and all, but we didn't come here to listen to the orchestral version. We want to listen to something that's a little more closer to its roots, as an arcade game.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey, orchestra people, you suck.
No, I do. I think that's a cute. I think that's a cool way that they include both. But yeah. So, tell us about it.
So, Battle Princess Madelyn Royal Edition. So, this is the second edition of the original Battle Princess Madelyn that aimed to fix a lot of the faults of the original game, as well as put more of its focus on the arcade aspects of the original, as opposed to just being a full-on open-ended adventure, which didn't really work with the Ghosts and Goblins style of gameplay it was aiming for. That said, why don't we go ahead and get started, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
In memory of Hartley, Grampy D. Clonakin, we miss.
Aww.
Oh yeah, no, trust me, there's a lot of family... A lot of the let's just move on.
There's a lot of familial references.
And it looks
Yeah.
nice. It looks nice that they're being. It seems like a very sweet project that was worked on with a lot.
Oh
of
yeah,
art.
no, this is completely a labor out of love.
Also, I have to
Madelyn
say,
is up.
I have to say, I can't speak for everyone, but I'm proud of you, James. Usually when you, stutter 3 times in a row, we have to stop the recording, but you're choosing to
No, it's
soldier on.
We're pushing forward. We got it.
Yep. Anyway, Grampy!
Hey, Grippy.
Oh.
Oh no! Is this game going to be a Princess Bride scenario?
Stay tuned and find out.
Who wants
So,
to be
who wants to be Grippy?
I heard you were homesick, so I came to keep you company.
Oh no,
look
let
like
me!
Oak.
Let me do that! Because
He does
Fine.
look like Oak.
sorry, I love being Oak.
It's okay. I'm fine, Grampy. I'm just about to level up in the Build-A-Craft. Look!
Buildy crap.
Buildy-Craft.
Craft.
It's fine. Level up? I don't know what that means. But I've got this, Texas Slow. But I got a
Shush.
story for you.
Another story. How about watch me play Build-A-Craft instead?
Buildy
Let me
crap.
see if I can speed this up a little
I
bit.
like pronouncing it as Build-A-Craft, okay?
Oh.
Give it
there
a
you go,
chance. Wait, give it a chance, young one. I have a feeling you'll find this story interesting. By the way, are you a boy or a girl?
There it is.
By the way, for the developer if the developer ends up watching this, we do apologize. We're mostly just being idiots here, and we do very much appreciate the labor of love you made for your family.
Exactly.
Of course.
Yes, we
You have
do.
fun with it. Oh.
It's about a brave princess named Madelyn.
Oh.
Madelyn? That's my name too!
Well, what do you know?
I might have taken some liberty. Complete coincidence, I swear.
He has his fingers crossed.
Behind his back.
Yep.
Anyway, this princess becomes a great knight. Some may say the greatest. She has amazing Pokemon adventures. I'm sorry. She battles all kinds of
No.
pocket monsters.
It was close.
She battles all kinds of pocket monsters and defeats them all.
Don't you mean collects them all?
With nothing but her determination and a husk of corn.
Of course.
There you go. There you go.
A princess becomes a knight? How does that happen?
Complete bullshit.
It's make believe. We can do it.
Wait, oh no, a princess becomes a knight? How does that happen? Have you ever seen The Witcher?
Anyway, never mind the boring stuff. Let's get to the good stuff, please.
I am disappointed, child.
No, okay, so let's get to the
Let's get
adventure.
on to the adventure.
And so we have a full motion cutscene show kickstarting the events of our adventure with Madelyn.
Battle, Princess
Well, seems
Madelyn.
like that guy got boned.
Oh,
So
wait.
Madelyn is the princess of a neighboring kingdom, and obviously she's also a knight.
With a
But
dog.
unfortunately, she and her family have been wrought by a great evil.
Ooh, hello.
Oh, a lich.
I am the Christmas.
Oh,
I am
no.
the ghost of Christmas past from the future.
So in the process, that monster kidnapped her family and killed her doggy.
No.
That's sad.
That's how you know he's a complete dick.
So, cut back to here.
Actually, no,
And,
not even joking. The writer of there's a joke
Fritz.
there's a joke in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure that Araki, the writer, constantly kills dogs. However, if you look, he constantly kills dogs to make the bad guys look like that much of assholes.
But yeah.
So I guess a great wave of evil that spawned not long after all that happened. Well, it's more or less bringing all these souls of the damned like up in the world of the living. But in the process, the spirit of our good old doggy is here to help us.
So, James, what exactly does Zero here do?
Yeah.
Well, Zero here, well, he's your cute little ghost doggy friend who, well, first and foremost, if you get close enough to an enemy, he'll turn into this, like, ghostly sword that acts as a close-range weapon.
Uh-huh.
And if you grab a certain power-up, he'll also, be able to shoot his own little doggy pellets.
Oh, jeez.
Also, really, Jordan? Nothing from me calling him Zero?
She's
I
watching.
was grinning.
Oh, but besides, I'm keeping an eye on all this beautiful animation. Yeah.
But Jordy, you can't exactly verbalize grinning.
Okay, not going to lie.
No,
that
but I
gravestone
can
looked
tell
like
you
it
that I
was-
grinned.
That gravestone in the background. Am I the only one that thought that it was in the background and not the
Me
foreground?
too. It can happen, but that
Yeah.
I guess. That being said, like I think that actually works really well with the fact
The
that
Lost
yeah,
Vikings.
this actually.
So are the Lost Vikings, son of a bitch.
Yeah, this actually looks really. First of all, looks really solid and definitely wears its inspirations on its sleeve.
Which is fine. How would you say it controls compared to its source?
Well, first and foremost, you actually have control over your jumps.
That's
oh,
good.
Nice.
And you can also
Oh.
pogo pounce on moves.
Hey,
Okay.
shovel that.
a hurricane.
Oops.
Oh no! Rise from your tomb.
So, one other thing worth mentioning is that much like your typical Ghosts and Goblins fare, you have you only have only a certain amount of hits to your name, and it mostly involves how much clothing you have currently on. Of course, they were being modest, of being fair, and you only get stripped down to your PJs.
Well, of
Right,
course. I
night
mean,
dress
she is a
and all
kid.
that.
Of
So,
course. What's funny is that with Battle Princess, like the initial development of Battle Princess Madelyn, like Maddie herself, like the
nice.
actual, the actual girl that the developer based the game after, did make some of her own concept sketches that are obviously befitting of art that was made by a 6 or 7 year old.
Right.
I mean, that's cute.
But he
that they-
did,
that
but he
they
did use that as inspiration for all the types of enemies and
Oh my
stuff that you
god,
fighting across
those
your
knives are
adventure.
freaking OP.
No, they're
You
great.
know what?
Look at
That
it.
you
For
say
once,
that
for
story.
once a ghost and I was gonna say for once a ghost and goblin game where the dagger isn't bad.
boy.
Nice.
Yeah, no, where the dagger looks like the best dang weapon.
Ah!
Oh boy.
Oh
I
god!
forgot about those things.
And that's what they say to your daggers.
Oh,
So
nice.
let's actually get to the nitty gritty on some other details. You notice that meter on the top right portion of the screen?
Yeah, the one that looks like a butterfly.
Yes.
Yes, that is your spirit meter, and that spirit meter also acts as the amount of times you can respawn after death. Once it's brought back down to 0 and you die again, that's a game over.
Also, I know
Okay.
those are supposed to be like tortured souls on the wall, but it looks like they're just going, we've been expecting you.
Whoa.
Oh, that's a big one.
Hello, big boy.
So what makes the meat? I guess I'll ask you. So health is on the left, that is on the right. What makes the soul meter go up?
Constantly killing enemies, and there's certain enemies will respawn like green or like spirit like orb stuff that'll absorb within Madelyn, and that just fills up the meter. And well, naturally, keep doing as much as you can so you can keep
Also,
yourself alive longer.
I'm so
I like
sorry,
that.
but Sansa's puns were so terrible, I decided to kill everything.
You know what?
Alright.
The way that thing
You make
moves.
You make that joke, that third skeleton over there does kind of look like a realistically proportioned Sans.
Oh my gosh, he does. It does look like his
Oh my
hoodie,
goodness.
his shorts.
Oh my god, yeah!
It does look
I
like
wonder
his
if that was.
hoodie.
I wonder if that was intentional.
Maybe.
We'll
We'll have to ask the guy.
But regardless, looking at it, that is a cool mechanic to like replace lives with, where like so long as you can like recover well, you can keep going indefinitely almost. Other than that, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing here so far. The animation looks really nice.
How did you survive that?
I think it's
I think the hitbox is in his sword, not his arm.
yeah. So he jumped past the hand, but not the blade, so she was safe.
Right.
So
Woohoo!
Woo!
So good job. Advance to the next area. So
I
I
love
will
that
a-
ghost dog.
So I will ask James. You were talking to me about something earlier. So, in terms of between the original release and the Royal Edition, what sorts of like major differences were there, like pricing and all that as well?
Well, I know that with the Royal Edition, they did release it at a somewhat bargain price of like $15, because the original release of the game had worked along the lines of an open world adventure sort of scenario, which, I mean, sounds cool on paper, but considering this is also a game that mostly runs under Ghosts and Goblins sort of gameplay, it didn't quite work right. Not to mention, the game didn't exactly have, some much needed,
TLC.
features that are normally befit a open world adventure, like a full-on map or
Those owls-
guides and whatnot.
Those owls
I getcha.
weren't bothering anybody, they were just there.
Yeah, just
Oh,
and
shit.
also like the reason.
Whoa.
Oh boy.
Oh god!
It was a
And when I was
trash.
saying like, the reason I was laughing earlier is because I noticed that when you do like the little pogo sound, the pogo move, the sound it does is just like a cartoony boing.
Yeah.
Boing,
Like find an
boing.
enemy to pogo off and you'll see what I mean.
Also, thank God for a double jump.
Oh, God.
Yeah, which is another thing regarding the adventure mode of the original Battle Princess Madelyn. You had to earn your power-ups. And in some cases, and considering most of the level design, I'm convinced was made with those power-ups in mind, it did make certain aspects kind of on the obnoxious side.
I can
Well,
imagine.
was it like a Metroidvania, or was it more like the
It
actual...
treated itself kind of like a Metroidvania, yes.
Okay, I get you then.
Oh, shit.
Oh boy,
Oh no!
I feel bad for this poor woman. She was in her undergarments.
girl.
girl. But,
I said
yes.
woman.
Oh,
Well,
fair,
it's
fair.
very clearly the same age as the girl we're telling the story to.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. Like here, not so much, but in the other artwork, which actually I'm curious about that artwork. Like they have a pretty fun like look to everything.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a very cute art style.
I'm trying to remember what else there was about the original. I mean, I know there was a lot of text involved, and so there were some other arbitrary sort of gameplay elements too. Like they wanted to, they really wanted to run with the theme of respecting the dead, which I mean that is a very noble cause,
Yeah.
but not very practical for the sake of gameplay because they expect you to actually, whenever you come across those spirits, you have to kneel down to them for a few seconds, and then they'll spawn whatever treasures they have waiting for you.
Which was
You know
which,
what? That
Which
that is a
makes
good.
sense. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Whoa.
Oh shit.
I was saying it makes sense in context to do that, but in a game like Ghosts and Goblins, you can't really.
That was your fault.
No,
Yes,
no,
it was.
but I see now where the live system comes into play. If you mess up too many times in the same area, then you're not going to be able to come back anymore. But if you can survive a little bit longer and learn from your mistakes, then you get to keep coming back.
Which, yeah, no, I'll give this game credit where it's due. I think the spirit mechanic is very, practical.
Definitely,
Yeah.
for newcomers to this whole kind of game entirely. But anyway, sorry, what I was saying to Hype was that that makes sense to do the whole Honor of the Dead thing, but in a game like Ghosts and Goblins, you can't really be affording to just
Well, no,
stand
that's-
around defenseless.
That wasn't what I was getting at. Like that was interesting. For a very split second before he finished that sentence, I thought he was gonna say "respect your elders."
It turns out this whole story is just a big like lecture / moral of the.
Shoot.
It should put us.
Just
Yeah,
had
okay.
enough left.
Okay, that's fair. I was gonna say it should put us back up there since that was the last time we were on solid ground. Just be very cautious. Uh oh.
So how
jeez.
so how far are we gonna go on this look at?
I'll go as far as till 20 minutes, I guess.
Okay. I
Alright.
guess I'll ask. I guess I'll ask. What are those
And
big?
that constitutes a game over.
Crap.
Oh, but it looked like you
what
still
are
had
the-
things in your spirit thing left.
Yeah, maybe it's not enough. But I was gonna ask before we maybe show off that other thingy. What were the big? What were the big coins for?
I guess they're pretty much the game's star coins or green stars or whatever. They're just mostly like a bonus collectible. To what they serve, what's practical purpose they serve, I don't exactly know. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what unlocks some of the concept art that was used to make this game.
I think I found my first problem with this game. If you pogo in the air for too long, the pogo just disappears apparently.
Well, I mean, I guess I guess it probably would help for the sake of you don't want to rely on it too much.
I mean, fair, but then there's Shovel Knight.
Well, this isn't Shovel Knight.
Which I mean, okay, I guess.
One thing we can go further with the whole, differences, or not even so much the differences, but just the overall conception of the Royal Edition of the game. Mm-hmm. I will say this is definitely one of those cases where they kind of goofed up, or rather, their actions into making it the way it is. I can sort of understand why it sort of miffed some of the backers of the game, because they built it off of a different engine from the original Battle Princess Madelyn, from what I've heard. And they thought that was enough of justification to not, offer it up to their backers for free. You have to pay $50 for it separately.
Which I get, which I can see that being an issue. Well, I see it being an issue because it's now people are getting a better thing that you help support. But at the same time, I'll play devil's advocate and say that unfortunately maybe bills are bills. And And it has been a long time since that last Kickstarter, and it's not like the people who backed it didn't get the game that they were promised. That is something that I've seen happen before, where a Kickstarter will start off one way, and then
it is funny you bring that up, Logan, because I do remember throughout the course of the Kickstarter campaign, he actually did up and make these changes after the big changes to the adventure mode and whatnot, after the Kickstarter was considered a success. So in some way, he did sort of lie on what he initially promised. It's complicated. It's kind of an iffy situation. Which I mean, this is more or less a case where I feel like if you haven't had any prior experience to Battle Princess Madelyn, especially through its Kickstarter campaign, I would say if you're going to play it any other way, just get the Royal Edition, because honestly it's pretty much the best way to play the game without having to worry about the fluff of the adventure mode.
Also,
it's funny because
that's fair. The one thing I'm not going to defend though is the whole the fact that basically he kind of lied and stuff like that, or was doing, I don't know, because I'm just thinking. I apologize making this comparison again. Going back to Shovel Knight. All of the DLCs for that game, the 3 different campaigns, they all feel like new experiences. Yes, you're going through the same levels, but in completely different ways. There are even some new levels, some new bosses, all that. But those are completely free. 100% free.
Well, no,
they were made on the same, and they were made on the same engine too.
Yeah, if you bought the game, if you bought the game, it's free, and no matter what.
And we've talked about this before on the channel, but with Team Cherry and Hollow Knight, they've been incredibly generous with all the expansions and stuff that you got with Hollow Knight. If you bought it on one thing, they gave you all that new content for free. Not sure if that's going to carry on with Silksong, but fingers crossed. But no, I remember it. It is something to consider. Another thing to consider is that maybe if I guess tacking back onto that question while we're getting close to the end of this level, hopefully, looking at the timer anyway. I mean up there, the time literally in the game. What consoles, what systems can people get the Royal Edition on?
PC, Switch, I want to say PS4 and Xbox One, but don't quote me on that.
Family member.
Okay, how many times are we going to have to freaking fight an evil tree?
As many times as it becomes a relevant Halloween trope.
Yeah.
It's December.
I mean, how many times do we have to fight a pumpkin, and how many times do we have to fight scarecrows?
Fair.
Why do you bring that up? Why do you bring that up, Jordy? Considering the boss of the next level is a pumpkin man.
Oh.
Okay, but no, I'm just going to say, Trevenant, Wispy Woods, the tree things from Ape Escape. I'm pretty sure there's a couple tree enemies in Shovel Knight as well. What is it with tree enemies?
Because they're mean. Look at them. Look at this guy. Do you look at this guy and think he is a polite tipper at dinner? Okay, fair, but also seeing evil trees just reminds me of my least favorite villain in any video game ever. I was just thinking of like Snow White though.
I was thinking Wizard of
That's
Oz.
Oh yeah, that too.
No,
Justice for all
yeah.
trees, hashtag.
Hooray.
but no, I'm just thinking of my least favorite
Down.
boss in any video game ever, and that's the freaking X-Death from
Yeah, I know.
Final Fantasy
From
V.
Final Fantasy
God, I hate that
V.
guy.
Ah.
Also, wait, we don't get to rescue our family member?
I don't even think that even was a family member. I think it was just a random civilian that tree held hostage.
I thought it was a zombie.
I feel like it made more sense in the actual adventure mode, but it is what it is. So, yeah, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our little look at on Battle Princess
This does
Madelyn
look
Royal
like
Edition.
a fun game, though. I do plan
Yeah.
on getting it. Yeah.
And I mean, for what it's worth, I would definitely recommend, giving it a shot if you haven't already. Because,
Oh,
yeah, and here's all the additional wallpaper if you want, the extra. Oh, and
Hey.
also here's all the drawings that the little Maddie made.
Oh,
Cute.
That's fun.
Aw.
it
No, I
kind
mean, I like that though.
it kind of reminds me of that one Japanese artist who redraws all, like he's like a manga artist or something, or like a design artist, and he redraws all of his kids' characters and drawings.
Oh yeah,
They're
that's
They're
so
really
sweet.
I'll just like tag them here or something. I'll send a link later.
So yeah, again, this game's available for those that have never heard of this game before. Heck, maybe if you want to give it a second chance, it's available on these consoles for like $15. I mean, for that price, that's not really bad at all. And yeah, and for those that were wondering why we decided to do this game out of the blue, Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection, anybody?
Stay tuned for that eventually.
Yeah. Until next time, everybody.
Bye.
Trees are people too, Devil Damn it, give them justice!